Well, g'day folks, it's Newt here, and I thought that I would tell you about a spider I found yesterday. I was at the local tip and I had a bag full of jars that I wanted to recycle. So I'm heading over to the jar recycle crate. So the jar recycle crate next door, there was cardboard and so on, in this little shed, this little tin shed. And I'm heading over and I just saw out of the corner of my eye, right on the edge of the top of the crate on the wall, was this whopping great huntsman. I went, whoa, man, that's a fantastic huntsman. What a spider. And the tip attendant's not sitting too far away. He's just sitting at his little desk. He looks around and looks at the spider and goes, holy shit, that's oh, bloody hell, what a spider. I said, that's fantastic, isn't it? What an incredible thing. I said, I love spiders. I study spiders. I said, he says, oh, no, spiders. Oh. I said, look, don't worry about it. You're safe. I'm an arachnologist. You're safe. I'm not an official arachnologist, but it didn't matter in this case. He sort of started to turn a bit pale or whatnot because this thing was like scaring the hell out of him. And I said, look, it's just a harmless huntsman. It's called Holconia flindersi. I really like the specimen. I thought about her ass. I can't just go taking things out of... You're not allowed to take things out of government sheds. I better ask him, do you mind if I have the spider? I really love it as a specimen. He goes, oh, no, mate, that'd be great. Take the spider. Take it. Awesome. Get it. Take it. He was really happy for me to take the spider. So I thought, oh, I've got plenty of jars, and I don't have any lids because, you don't recycle jars with lids. And so, there's plenty of cardboard next door in the cardboard crate. So I grabbed a bit of cardboard and tore that off and put the jar over the spider very, very carefully, and the spider was huge. I had to wait for it to tuck its legs in and didn't injure it. And then it crawled down inside the jar, and I just slipped the cardboard up, and I had it in there, and I showed him, and he goes, whoa, that's shocking. Oh, mate, bloody hell. Oh, I had a spider under my shirt a couple of days ago. Bloody big black thing it was. Oh, I don't like spiders. Oh, no. Doesn't matter where you go. If you mention spiders, someone always has a spider story. It's really quite funny. In their car, in their house, or in this case, in your shirt. And so I take it out to the missus and I said, have a look at this one. It's just like, whoa. She just about freaked out. Oh! I said, it's okay. It's in a jar. It's not going to, it was really, really quite big with its legs out. Look, she absolutely huge. And so anyway, I said, look, I'm driving. And the missus doesn't like driving the four-wheel drive. She drives the garbage, doesn't particularly like driving the four-wheel drive down back roads and stuff when I normally go on the dirt roads. And I said, look, put it on the console here next to us, and you just hold your hand on top of the cardboard, and a little bit of pressure, and the spider can't. Oh, are you sure about that? She's saying, oh, yeah, you'll be fine, So I drive him back, and I was like, don't push too hard, like she had a bit of pressure going now. So because if you do, you might flip. It's a tall jar, you flip the jar over, and they have this huge huntsman running around the car, which is probably not something that you'd really want to have. So yeah, Holconia flindersi is a really beautiful species of huntsman spider. This is an adult female and probably quite old, and she was really, really quite large. She seemed a bit lethargic, but anyway, today I've already let her go. I'm going to show you a little bit of footage of letting her go, and she was incredibly fast. I thought about just letting her go onto my hands so that I could give you an idea. I'm trying to find the camera here. Give you an idea of how big she was, but when she moved, I thought, no, because it'll be a blink of an eye. She'll be from my hand, sitting on top of my head, and then down my shirt. I thought, nah, I'm not going there. So I don't have a ruler with me. I've got my calipers. Calipers extend out. That there is 130 millimeters. So she was 10 millimeters longer than that. That's leg span. And her body length was 40 millimeters. So that's 40 millimeters. So that's how long her body is. It's that monster size thing. I haven't seen one that big before. Yeah, they're not. I've seen quite a few of them, and that's the biggest one I've ever seen. So it must have done really well when it was growing up. It must have fed really well, and because they don't, once they reach adult size, they don't grow anymore. So each time they shed their skin, they become another instar, and they become one size bigger. So it's like a quantum leap at each ecdysial phase, or each time it sheds its skin. So if it grows bigger within that, consumes a lot of food within an instar, then it can become a bigger instar when it sheds its skin. And that's probably what's happened with this spider. And there could be some genetics thrown in there and whatnot as well. So anyway, have a look at this. It's not great because this spider just ran so fast. Blink of an eye and gone. I'll show you some footage of that. Let's have a look. So with spiracids, you can see that, I can see quite distinctly, she's got 4 eyes in a row right at the very front. They're really the main eyes by the looks of it. And on top of that, there are another 4 eyes in a second row. But the second row of eyes are nowhere near as prominent as the first row. The thing about spiracids is, on the tarsus and metatarsus, they have these specialised hairs, or scopulae, and it enables them to climb up just about any surface, especially any surface in nature. But even in your house, because these guys are arboreal, they love getting into your house and your shed, and they'll climb up on the walls. But this one would probably struggle a little bit on the ceiling because she's so big. She has such an incredibly large abdomen. She's very heavy. And she might have a bit of trouble clinging on a surface if she was completely upside down, especially in your house. I would say not on wood, on a tree trunk. They could just about climb on anything. So I'm letting her go here in my wood pile, my block. And I get these inside the house occasionally. They're quite common here. This is a very, very big one though. If I touch her, she's going to take off. I don't know, she's thinking that this is not such a bad place. Those hairs. And, oh, that made me jump. And, oh, there she goes. She's so fast. So she's just darted around this side of the log that I've moved the camera. I've put the camera onto 60 frames a second, so hopefully I can slow it down a little bit and show you when she takes off and how she runs. Absolutely incredible. See the way all the legs bend out and then come forward, which must enable very, very fast forwards and sideways movement, because they can run. They can't move backwards at a high rate that I've seen, but sideways definitely, and anywhere forwards. But you can see the vast array of little hairs, and she'll be able to feel that. Oh, every time she moves I jump. She's so big. She's just one of those I'm not used to handling really, really big spiders. And the thing about huntsmans is that it's just the speed. I think it's the speed of them more than anything, and just the radical movements of them. You know, it's one of those things, they're sort of unpredictable. You're not scared her to come around. I'm not going to harass her too much. She's actually quite calm, but see how fast she moves. It's just incredible. There she goes. Let her go off into the wood pile, and she'll be safe there. And there's a lot of food in this wood pile. There's lots of cockroaches. She's absolutely huge. That's the biggest one I've seen. 140mm leg span, and about a 40mm body length. Carapace and abdomen, 40mm. Beautiful spider. Huge. Scary.